Hey everybody, welcome to the Mana Leak. I'm John as always, and this is episode 12, Lantern Year 10 of our Innistrad campaign. We are going to be heading out hunting a white lion, level 1, just to, be a little bit safe. We want to get some gear, and we've got some new folks coming out. If you remember last year, a woman made of tongues or wearing something made of tongues showed up, and all of the men lost their minds and are staying home this year. The women are all going out for a hunt. So we have Chandra in blue, so one of our elder folks coming on out. She's got red fist, meaning she's giving strength to everybody. She's got a bunch of fighting arts and stuff, a bunch of injuries, meaning she has -1 accuracy and -1 speed, but she's going to be kind of our leader here. In yellow, we have Liliana, our swords person, who this year, if she survives and gets a sword wound, which she should, will get sword mastery, giving everybody sword specialization, which isn't as important as fist and tooth, which we would get if Gideon would actually be able to get out for a fight and get those fist and tooth wounds. We have Sahili in red, who is brand spanking new. She's going to be our bow person, as the red person always is. She has very little special going on other than strategist, which means that when we set up the showdown, we get to add a giant stone face or a toppled pillar as we see fit. And then finally in green, we have Vivian Vess, which is Liliana's daughter, meaning that she has a couple of pips of sword proficiency herself, although she will be using a king's spear today. Although she also, as happened last week, she got sneak attack, which means she is actually going to be stabbing from the blind spot as much as possible, despite using the spear, which has reach. Other than that, she's pretty straightforward. So yeah, I believe that's about all that's going on, and I think we're good to go for this hunt. So let's head on down to the board and start the hunt. All right, so down on the board, let's send in Sahili as our first go. Fun fact, on the green screen, I think I've gotten rid of the glitching. For whatever reason, setting the camera to 25 FPS has stopped the glitching, as far as I can tell. It'll make things look a little bit slower down here and a little bit not quite what they should be at 30, but it fixed it. I think the issue, for anybody who wants to get technical here, is this camera, if you saw what it was actually seeing, is seeing nothing but a flat green piece of fabric, and that is it. I think it sees a little bit of the table on the side, and that sort of lack of stuff makes the camera freak out and makes it glitch as it's trying to figure out what it's seeing. And I guess 25 FPS fixes it. Anyways, our first hunt event is going to be the White Lion Cub. The survivors find a White Lion Cub. They may choose to slay the cub. If they do, each survivor gains 1 random basic resource. The event revealer rolls on the table below. We did this last time, where the enraged lion can show up. There's a 30% chance of it happening. That was not great last time that happened, so I think we're actually going to skip it and just take the random hunt event. We're going to spare this White Lion Cub. So, our first random hunt event is going to be 88. That should be a lucky number. 88 is the sword and the statue. A one-eyed statue, twice as tall as any man, sits before a great anvil with a hammer in each of its 6 hands. Transfixed, the survivors watch the statue beat a red-hot sword that lies across the anvil. Each survivor, starting with the event revealer and proceeding clockwise, may make 1 attempt to grab the sword from the anvil. If they do, they gain +1 courage, they roll 1d10, and add their hunt XP to the roll. 20% chance of dying, it would appear. That's not good. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 60% chance of having a dismembered arm. 9 through 13, nothing happens, but you're not foolish enough to die trying. You need a 14 plus to gain a rare gear. I would assume a rare sword is what we're grabbing for. Here's an interesting question. Liliana has a whole lot of XP. Liliana has 10 XP. Liliana is, if she rolls a 1, a 2, or a 3, going to be fine. If she hits anything higher than that, she gets this rare sword, which I have to imagine is better than her scrap sword. So Liliana is going to go for this. I don't think anybody else will. Chandra still has a good chance of losing an arm, which would be bad. And our other two people are brand new. They have no hunt XP, so they're not going to do this. But let's roll for Lily. Lily gets a 5, plus her 10 is 15. Your speed is legendary. Gain the Muramasa rare gear and end this event. She also gets what? 1 courage. So let's give Lily an extra courage, which is going to be a courage of 2. And we get rare gear. So let's go to the rare gear that I keep on the shelf and find out what this is. Actually, no, rare gear would be in the binder. Rare resources are on the shelf. So the Muramasa rare gear. Muramasa weapon, melee, katana, 2-handed. Oh, it's a katana, not a sword? Katana is a different type of weapon proficiency, unfortunately. It's frail, meaning that if you hit a super dense location, it'll break. It's sharp, which means something. It means something for sure. It wouldn't be on the card if it didn't mean something. It means you add 1d10 strength to each wound attempt when using this gear. The d10 is not a wound roll and cannot cause critical wounds. Wow. It's sentient, which means that you have to be insane to use it. So you have to be 3 plus insanity, which Lily currently is not. It is deadly 2, which means that it gives you plus 2 luck on the wound roll. And it's unique, which means you can't have any more copies of this. It's I'm sorry, what? I should show you this card. It's a speed of 6, meaning you roll 6 dice. Okay. When you critically wound with this weapon, you gain 2 bleeding tokens. Wow, okay, so it's way more likely to critically wound. But if you critically wound with this 3 times, you're just dead. Wow, there's a lot going on this thing. So there's something else that I have to look up. Liliana has a full gear grid. So I'm going to have to look up, like, can we throw something away? Should we even throw something away? Obviously, it would work with bandages, where we could take the critical wound, although you're rolling 6. You might just kill yourself in the attack. That seems dangerous. But yeah, I'm going to have to look up what I do with Liliana getting the sword when she has a full gear grid. Does she just drop it? Can she give it to somebody else? Can it go into sort of her inventory? Let's find out, and I'll be back in a sec. All right, I couldn't find a super quick answer on that, other than somebody mentioning that you can equip stuff when you find it in the hunt or the showdown, but you do then lose the thing that you are trading it for. So just to go ahead with this, what I will do is I will lose the bandages that she has to get the Muramasa. She's not really going to go ahead and use this Muramasa, at least in this fight anyways, or probably ever. But what we'll do is when we get back to the settlement, somebody else may become a katana master, and we can see how this Muramasa works. The bandages, luckily, we needed a 4th copy of bandages because I keep forgetting that our green person actually has bandages in their gear grid. But Kingdom Death Monster is dumb and does not actually give you 4 copies of gear, despite the fact that you can have as many copies as you want. So we've done that. Let's go on to the next step. Let's send Vivian in for the next hunt event, which is Scratching Grounds. Claw marks scar the ground. The survivors may choose to investigate. Each survivor that investigates gains +1 courage and rolls on the table. It may cause us event damage to the arms location, which is pretty okay. Good chance of nothing happening, but we might find a lion claw. So I think we have an investigate ability here. Yes, Chandra gets +2 on the investigate table. So she'll be the first one to roll, giving her +1 courage, which puts her up to 5. And her roll on the investigate table will be 10 + 2. She finds a white lion claw resource in the rubble. So let's grab a white lion claw. which is great because that's one of the things that we're kind of looking for. Because I want to build her, I think specifically, although she is getting up there with axes. But I do want to get some guitars going, and those do require claws. The question is, do I want anybody else to go for a hunt or go for a search here? Liliana gets +2 as well. So let's have Liliana explore. She's going to get a courage, which puts her up to 3, which lets her do the bold story event. I hope the snowplow you can't really hear. I imagine it's not coming through. I don't think so, but I hope it's not. Hopefully it'll go away soon. She gets a 3+2, which is a 5, so nothing happens for her. And that will be the last person who does that. But she is going to get to do the bold ability. They are having a hell of a fun time out there with the snowplow. Looks like a fun job. They basically just floor it because we are in a townhousey area. So bold, happening during the hunt phase. She expects the unexpected. Liliana is now prepared. Give her prepared. Prepared means that if she ever becomes the straggler, she gets to add her hunt experience, which means it's not bad for her to be the straggler at all. And then we get to roll a 1d10 and we get something. We roll a 3, which gives her a speed token, unfortunately, for the next showdown. So she's not getting anything too fancy here. I also realized I forgot to depart everybody, which will give them their bonuses. In addition to that, I need to give everybody their +1 strength token, thanks to Chandra's Red Fist. So let me do that momentarily. There is everybody's strength token added. There's Liliana's thing done. Time for us to go down to an empty hunt spot. Let's send Chandra in on that. So we'll roll for what hunt event we're going to do, and we're going to do 21. 21 is drawings. Cowering in a cave, the survivors find strange drawings decorating the wall. They appear to contain a message. Any survivor with 3+ understanding may try to decipher by rolling 1d10. If the settlement has pictographs, which we have, each survivor may roll, regardless of understanding, and add +4 to their rolls, which means we'll never get the worst roll, which is monster level brain event damage. We may get insanity, cool, and we may get +2 survival, which is not cool because we really need to up our survival limit. That's going to be one of my main plans for kind of going forward a little bit. But we also get a random fighting art. That sounds great to me. Let's start off with Chandra in blue. So she gets +4. She's got 8. She gets 2 survival. Doesn't matter, but she gets a fighting art. Random fighting art for her is going to be Thrill Seeker. Whenever you gain survival during the showdown phase, gain 1 additional survival. Not sure that's going to do much for her, but cool to have. Up next, we'll go with Vivian in green. Vivian gets a 4 plus a 4. That's going to give her a random fighting art. So in addition to sneak attack, she also has propulsion drive. This, I believe, is a dung beetle knight thing. At the start of the showdown, gain the momentum survivor status card. When you attack, if you have 5+ momentum tokens, remove them all and roll 1d10. Gain that amount of luck and strength when attempting to wound the first selected hit location for this attack. Going to make an executive decision and not include anything deeply complex. We've already added Steadfast in, which Gideon has, which is also from the Dung Beetle Knight expansion. I'm going to make an executive decision and not do this expansion fighting art. That sounds cool. That sounds like you get momentum and then you get a huge amount of luck, which will really help out critical hits. But I'd also have to go and dig into the box and find that card. So instead, Vivian is going to get sneak attack again. She can't have the same fighting art. If you get the same fighting art, I don't think you get to draw another. I think you just go, oops, that sucks. Let me check the rules on that. A lot of rules checking in this one. Fighting arts. Additional fighting arts gain replaced. If a survivor would gain a fighting art they already have, nothing happens. So unfortunately, Vivian just doesn't get one. Up next in red will be Saheeli. Saheeli gets a 2 plus a 4. She only gets an insanity. No fighting art for her. And then finally, we're going to have Liliana. Liliana gets a 3 plus a 4 is a 7. She's just going to take an insanity as well. All right, and with that, Liliana is going to smash into the lion, and we are going to have a showdown. See you for that. All right, here we are set up. Let's go down to the board. Up first, of course, we have some tall grass, as we always do. We've got a bug patch, which we have only really seen with the Screaming Antelope, because it's always automatically on the Screaming Antelope's board. It's beside the monster, and we can search that to maybe find some bugs to eat if we feel brave. We have a giant stone face, which I've set up right here, and that's going to help our bow person have more range and accuracy. And because our bow person is a strategist, we have put down a toppled pillar, which mostly blocks line of sight, and we can hop over it. I've never made much use of the pillars. I probably should learn more about kind of breaking monster line of sight. I think that might be a good thing to learn. If you have any tips on using things like the pillar to hide behind to break line of sight, let me know. It's just not something I've ever really focused on or done, really. I do need to make one quick check here and make sure that we are all applying arrival bonuses. Can't remember if I set any of those up. I think, no, nobody's got arrival bonuses here. But I think we're good to go, and probably, I would assume, we'll rip this white lion apart. The white lion is going to get to go first. There's no dead monster or anything like that. So let's see what it does. It's going to start out with a good old standard claw. Closest threat facing in range, that's anybody, of course. We're going to have our bow person do that because they are the monster controller. That way they'll get an insanity. No need to dash or anything like that. The white lion is going to full move and attack her with a speed of 2, an accuracy of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, thanks to evasion sources. We get a 6 and an 8. That is 2 hits on her. Now, one thing that I'm going to try to remember here. She doesn't have much armor whatsoever, but she does have this lion skin cloak. Any damage, I guess actually this is the issue. It doesn't matter in this fight. Any damage that she would suffer gets reduced by 1 to a minimum of 1. But this is a level 1 white lion. It's typically only going to be doing 1 damage. Anyways, this white lion is going to look to do a damage to her body and her body. She'll take the first hit, giving her light damage, but the second hit, she is going to dodge. So she'll spend a survival to dodge that. Our plan for this fight is to try to get some hides out of this white lion, because we should probably have some armor on our bow person. I also forgot to mention, and forgot to even remember, I did give our bow person a dagger, just in case she gets in close and wants to get all stabby. But I think the primary plan is going to be not being quite so stabby. So I do want to get her up on that giant stone face, but that is going to require move and action, and we should really get the clawhead arrow off. So let's start with the clawhead arrow, which is a speed of 1, an accuracy of 6. We get the hit, which instantaneously is going to give that white lion for the rest of this fight -1 evasion. It's going to be way easier to hit this white lion going forward. Good, good, good stuff. Where do we shoot that arrow? We shoot the arrow at, of course, why would it be any other place? The fuzzy groin. So we're going to wound the fuzzy groin on a 6. What is the toughness of this? This is an 8, so 8, 2. She's got 2 strengths. We're going to wound on literally anything other than a 1. And we get a 1 and we fail to wound. But much more importantly than that, our hit went through and we did give it -1. Let's flip that clawhead arrow so that I don't try to use it again. And then we'll move her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's going to get ready to hop up on the stone face. And that's her turn. So, up next, looks like Chandra's kind of already ready to use the axe here, because it does have a reach of 2, thankfully. But she is so beat up. What is going to happen here? It's an accuracy, or sorry, it's a speed of 2. She's got -1, so it's a speed of 1. It's an accuracy of 6, and she has -1 accuracy, so it's an accuracy of 7. 1 die and a roll of 7 to hit with this thing. We're not going to do any better with her, unfortunately, so let's go for it. Because if we do hit, at least we've got a lot of other stuff going on. It's got +4 strength. She has natural 4 strength plus a strength token. If we hit, we should wound, but we need to hit on a 7. We get a 9. So we do successfully hit. Where does Chandra hit with this axe? She hits the beast's back, which has a failure of full move forward. We're not going to want that to happen. Luckily, as I said, we're going to wound on an 8, a 4, a -1. And because she has axe specialization, if we fail to wound, we can actually try one more time per attack. So anything but a 1, we get ourselves a 5. We successfully wound the beast's back. It does not charge forward. She is going to get axe proficiency should she survive. Good times had by all. And actually, the -1 evasion. I've already forgotten about the -1 evasion that the White Lion has, which cancels out her -1 accuracy. So that is Chandra's turn. I don't really want her to come out of the grass, so I'm just going to keep her where she is. Over on the other hand side, however, we have our sneak attackers in pretty perfect position to just kind of come on out and sneak attack. So up first will be Liliana coming in behind, attacking with her scrap sword, a speed of 2. She has a +1 speed thanks to the bold courage-based story action. Speed of 3, accuracy of 5, 4, 3. 3 dice, and she's going to wound on 3s. That is a 4, a 2, and a 3, so that is 2 hits to the beast's ear and to the beast's scapular deltoid. Now, because she has sword specialization, she gets to make a wound attempt and then pick where she's wounding. So let's make that first wound attempt. She is wounding on an 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, -1. She's wounding on anything that's not a 1. We roll a 1. So what do we want to fail on? They both kind of suck. They both kind of suck. But Chandra could dash out of the way of the scapular deltoid failure. But then, boy, is that White Lion going to be out of range of, like, literally everything. Otherwise, if we fail at the beast's ear, the White Lion's going to jump backwards, which will send Lily absolutely flying. I think it'll be best if we fail on the scapular deltoid and have Chandra dash out of the way. So she's going to spend a survival to dash. She's got a movement of 4. So she's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, just kind of get out of the way. Then we'll go ahead with the failure. The White Lion is going to full move forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The beast is no longer in range of the other hit that we have, so that one just gets canceled, unfortunately. And that is Liliana's turn. Vivian can't do much. She can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, get into the grass, but not really catch up to that lion. So not the best first go, but I'm pretty sure we'll be fine. So let's go on to the next attack. Monster controller going to go over, and we're going to draw the next lion AI card, which is enraged. Oh, great. When this comes into play, draw another AI card. For as long as this is in play, the White Lion has +1 damage per monster level, and this doesn't go away until somebody is killed or dismembered at least. That is bad times. That is very bad times. We are going to want to kill this White Lion as quickly as humanly possible. The next AI card is Size Up. Pick a random threat in field of view. That is literally everybody. Although, no. This is where I need to keep in mind line of sight. Giant stone face is an optical. It's an obstacle to the optical process. So Saheeli here is not in view. These three are. Let's just do a simple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Reroll on a 10, I guess. We get a 1. That's a lot of 1s. That's going to be Vivian in the grass. Intimidate the target. The monster stares down the prey. Turn to face the target. Roll a d10. On a result of 4+, they suffer a brain damage and get knocked down. We'll roll another 1, right? It's a 2. She's fine. She's totally fine. Everything's good here, other than the fact that we are in no way, shape, or form able to really get up in this white lion's business. So on our turn, we are going to have Saheeli spend her action to stand up on the face, and we'll get her moving a little bit closer. Unfortunately, she's spent her movement and her action, so that's about all she's going to do. But now she is ready to rain arrows upon this white lion. Up next as well. Gotta remember that white lion is enraged. Let's actually have Chandra go back and investigate the bug patch. So we're going to roll a 1d10 to search this bug patch. We get a 10, which gives us a random vermin resource. So I don't think we've had vermin resources yet. These are basically bugs, typically that you can eat. I believe you can cook with them if you get the right innovations later as well. But in this bug patch, we find ourselves a nightmare tick. So we can consume it and roll a 1d10. If we do, there's a 30% chance that we die. And then there's a 20% chance that nothing happens. But there's a 50% chance that we get permanent +1 evasion. So you can see the gambler effect of really wanting to eat these bugs. We're not going to eat that bug just yet. And this bug patch goes away. And that is Chandra's turn. Liliana and Vivian, 2, 3, 4, 5. Vivian doesn't quite have the evasion and dodginess and whatnot that I feel like I really desperately need, although she could dash on the white lion's turn. And she does have a spear. Let's have her go 1, 2, 3, 4 and attack from the corner thanks to the spear's reach of 2. So this is going to be a speed of 2 with an accuracy of 6, 5. We're going to hit on 5s with this spear. We get a perfect hit and a 3. So a single hit off of this spear to the beast's knee. We're going to wound on an 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We get a crit. So we get a wound. This is how we need to kill this lion. And the white lion's going to gain -1 movement token. We are hurting this lion. It is enraged. It is angry. It is definitely going to try to hurt us right back. But we are carving some pieces off of this lion. That is Vivian's turn. We have Liliana left. Liliana can't do much. Let's have her go 1, 2, 3, get into the grass. And that's where she's going to hang out. So that is our turn. Let's move the monster controller. And let's go to the lion's turn. Our enraged lion is going to start out with a power swat. The closest threat facing in range, that would be Vivian. So here's what we're going to do. There's a flow break. So we are going to have Vivian spend a survival to dash. She has rawhide, which means if we roll a 6 or higher, she keeps that survival. We roll a 5, so no go. But she's going to dash 1, 2, 3, 4 and get back into the grass. Then the white lion follows her on in and attacks with power swat. A speed of 1, an accuracy of 2, 3, 4, 5. So 50% chance of not hitting here. Rolls a 2. No dice. No nothing. Totally okay. Other than the fact that we still have to get in behind this white lion to really get going here. Do our people have enough movement to move in behind? Why, yes, they do. They both have 5. Let's start out with Vivian, because she's already dashed. She can't use dash until the next turn. She's going to go on in behind. Oops. And attack with her spear again, but from the blind spot, even though it does have reach, because she has sneak attack, and that +4 strength would be handy. Speed of 2, accuracy of 6, 5, 4. That is 2 hits with the spear. We are hitting the soft belly, and we are hitting the beast's temple. Let's start out with the one that does not have any reaction whatsoever. The soft belly, we're going to wound on an 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, -1, anything other than a 1. We get a crit. We are racking up these crits, so good hit. Or good wound, rather. And the critical wound is a random White Lion resource. That's fantastic. And a persistent injury of organ trail. The White Lion's intestines hang from the wound on its gut, dragging on the floor. At the start of every monster turn, before it draws an AI card, roll 1d10. On a result of 1, the monster suffers 1 wound. Again, I've got the window wide open because it's really hot in this room, despite it being 20 centimeters of snow outside. Hopefully the garbage truck is not super loud right now. I need a recording studio is what I need. Our random basic resource are a great cat bone. Getting some good resources here, getting some wounds. We've got the organ trail. This is at the start of every monster turn. Start of every monster turn. Let's go for the beast's temple. Again, we're going to wound on anything other than a -1. Or sorry, anything other than a 1. We get the wound. There is another wound done. We are tearing this thing apart. Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. So I kind of want to have Chandra do the next attack. Just while she's up there, while she's in range. Or sorry, not Chandra. Again, I always think red is Chandra, because that's how it works in Magic the Gathering. But red is Saheeli, who is also red, but also blue. Magic's weird. She's going to shoot with the cat bow. That is a speed of 2. That is an accuracy of 7. 6, thanks to the -1 evasion. 5, 4, thanks to being on top of the stone face. Hitting on a 4, she gets a 3 and a 2. And that's the end of that. Good job, Saheeli. You will surely be our bow person. Well done. Well done. So, I guess that leaves us with Liliana for right now. Let's have Liliana get on in behind and attack with her scrap sword. She's got that extra speed, so she's going to be rolling 3 dice. She's going to be hitting on a 5, 4, 3, 2. She's going to be hitting on a 2 by my count. We get a 2, a crit, and a 5. So there's something to be aware of here. The scrap sword is barbed 4, so on a perfect hit, gain +4 strength for the rest of the attack. So she has +4 because of that. She has +4 for attacking from the blind spot with sneak attack. She has 2 strength herself. We're beyond the point of it mattering. We're wounding on anything that's not a negative, or anything that's not a 1. We get 3 hits. None of them are traps. That's very good to see. We have the beast's chest. We have the beast's tail, which has a reflex of running, unfortunately. So that's going to be our last one. And we have beast's maw. Now, thanks to Lily having sword mastery, she gets to try to wound first and then pick where she's wounding. That die tried to run away, but it didn't run away far enough. We're going to roll the first wound, and that's vaguely cocked. But I think any way we pull stuff, it's going to land on a crit. So, that's a critical hit. So obviously we're going to do the one that had the reflex, because critical hits cancel all reactions. So we critically wound the beast's tail. And what do we get? Well, we get the White Lion's tail is destroyed, ruining its finely tuned balance. The White Lion gains -1 accuracy token, and we get the tail resource. So many -1 tokens. This is exactly the way that we want these fights to go. Tons of resources, not taking damage. Seems good. All right, now we have to pick where we're going to hit. Let's go for the one that does not have a run straight forward. So again, we're going to wound on anything other than a 1. And hey, would you look at that? We rolled a 1. So the monster roars triumphantly. Roll 1d10 on a 4+. The attacker suffers a brain damage and is knocked down. That's an 8. So down she is going to go. Suffering a brain damage down to 1 insanity. And obviously with her knocked down, we have to cancel the next attack. Now, even if she had already gotten it and I had forgotten, we definitely know that she now has sword proficiency. She now has to just survive to turn this sword specialization into sword mastery. So let's hope she survives. That is everybody's turn. So let's go on to the White Lion's turn. This is its last AI card before a reshuffle, and it is Grasp. Closest knocked down survivor in range. Well, that's Liliana. So she has been targeted. Also monster controller. Over to Vivian. So we are going to have Vivian encourage Liliana, spending a survival, checking to see if we keep, which is a 2. We do not keep. Also, I forgot soft belly. Let's do the Oregon Trail. If we roll a 1, the monster takes a wound. We roll a 1. The monster takes a wound. This would have technically happened before Grasp, so we'll just shuffle what's there. So the monster takes a wound off the Oregon Trail. But as we were doing, Vivian has encouraged Liliana to stand up. Still in that flow step, Liliana is going to spend a survival to dash. She also has full rawhide. Let's roll the die. We get a 5. She does not keep the survival, but she gets to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and very importantly, get into the grass. In the grass, the lion may now attack a speed of only 1, an accuracy of 2, 3, thanks to the -1 evasion, 4, 5, thanks to the grass, 6, 7, 8, thanks to Lily's stuff. So only going to wound on an 8 here, or hit on an 8, I suppose. It's a 3. The White Lion misses. Everybody claps. All right, so we should be able to just finish this thing off pretty dang close here, I would imagine. Let's have Vivian attack in from behind while she can. Vivian is going to attack with the spear, which is a speed of 2, an accuracy of 6, 5, 4, accuracy of 4. We get ourselves a 5 and an 8. That is 2 hits. We're going to have to hit a track card at some point. There we go. All right. So the attacker is doomed. The White Lion is going to attack with a basic action, which is going to be a speed of 2, an accuracy of 2, 3, 4, accuracy of 4. That is an 8 and a 9. That is 2 hits that we cannot dodge or dash or anything like that due to being doomed. Now she does have the lion. No, she does not. That's somebody else. This is Vivian. So Vivian is going to take 2 damage each, thanks to enraged, to her head and her body. Now, luckily, she's got a full rawhide armor, giving her 1 point to each spot, and the full rawhide armor is an additional 1 point to each spot. So now she has 0 head armor and 0 body armor, but doesn't get knocked down, doesn't take a severe injury, none of that stuff. So, White Lion's hit location has been shuffled up, and we are going to continue on with Lily taking her shot, because if the White Lion does run, Vivian is no longer doomed. She'll be able to dash out of the way. And it should still keep the White Lion in range for Saheeli up on the rock. Liliana is going to attack with a speed of 3 and an accuracy of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, 2. Accuracy of 2. We get a 1, but we get 2 hits plus a perfect hit. So we are hitting on anything other than a 1 several times over. We get the beast's flank and we get the beast's paw. Thanks to sword specialization, we get to roll first and then choose. We're going to wound on anything other than a 1. We get ourselves a 9. There's no deadly, right? The scrap sword would be deadly if we had red, red, blue. We have red and blue, but we don't have this. We don't have the second red. So just a regular wound. And you know what we'll do? You know what we'll do? No, never mind. We won't do that. We'll do it on the beast's paw. So no failure reaction, and we get the wound. The second wound attempt is going to be on the beast's flank. I thought about doing this one and giving her the priority target, but we may as well get rid of the failure reaction first. So again, we're going to wound on anything other than a 1. We get ourselves a 3. Successful wound. Meaning we're down to 1 card left in the White Lion's deck. And I was about to do something. What was I about to do? We wounded. Priority target. Liliana is the priority target, so she will be the target of the next attack, which is Grasp. If we don't actually just kill this White Lion right here, right now. So we are going to have Saheeli up on the rock, attack with the bow, a speed of 2, an accuracy of 7, 6, 5, 4. Accuracy of 4. We get a 5 and a 3. That is just a single hit from the bow to the beast's tricep. We are going to wound on an 8. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Wounded on a 3 with the bow. We get a crit. So many crits. So goodbye to the Lion's last card. And the crit on this one is the torn muscle causes agonizing pain. Discard 1 mood currently in play. And the White Lion's knocked down. Meaning that we now hit on a 3. And the White Lion's going to stand up at the start of its turn. So the question is, can we get Chandra even in there? She has a movement of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. She would have to dash, which we may as well do. So we'll spend a survival to dash. And we'll get her in just in range. She's got a reach of 2. So, she is going to attack with her counterweighted axe. She's going to hit on a 3, thanks to the White Lion being knocked down. It is hit that makes it easier, right? Yeah, all hit rolls happen on a 3. So she just needs to roll a 3. She gets the 3. We do get the hit. And it is, unfortunately, the glorious main. She's going to wound on an 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, negative something. So we're going to wound on anything other than a 1. But again, we're not going to actually wound because it's the main. We're just looking for a crit. We don't get the crit. We don't rip off the main. So be it. That is everybody's turn, which means we are going to go to the White Lion's turn. So it's going to stand up. We know what it's going to draw. It's going to draw Enraged. We draw an AI card. We can't draw an AI card, which I believe means we do basic action. I think. I could be wrong there, but doing a basic action instead of doing nothing is the worst choice, and I'm not going to bother looking it up right now. So the closest survivor in field of view would be Vivian. Also, this has moved over to here. So Vivian is going to be the target. Vivian should get into the grass if I was her. She's going to spend a survival. Does she keep the survival? She does not. Let's have her dash into the grass. The White Lion's going to turn around, and it's going to attack her with a speed of 2, an accuracy of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hitting on a 6, we get a 4 and a 5. The White Lion fails to hit, and it is time for us to end this fight. End the fight. Let's have Vivian attempt to end the fight. Chandra? Let's have Chandra attempt to end the fight. 1, 2, 3, 4. So she's hitting with this axe. So again, she's only rolling 1 because of her -1 speed. And she's hitting on a 6, a 5, a 4, back up to a 5 because she's got -1 accuracy. Hitting on a 5, we get a 7. So our wound with the axe is the fuzzy groin, of course. We're going to wound on an 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, something like a -2. So anything other than a 1. A 7, we successfully wound the fuzzy groin, and the white lion has died due to the damage to its fuzzy groin. There we go. Not too bad. Nobody got hurt. We got a bunch of resources. Let's get our randomized resources for the fight, and let's see how the settlement phase goes. We get ourselves a shimmering mane. We get ourselves another lion claw. We get ourselves a white fur and a white fur. So we're going to want to get some hides out of the basic resources deck. That is the whole plan. We need to get a rawhide set, although it might be cool to get a lion set for the bow person. So let's shuffle this up. And our 4 random basic resources are going to be a monster hide, perfect, a monster hide, perfect, a monster hide, perfect, and some love juice. So we can try to make some babies. All right, I'm going to go back to the settlement phase, get this all sorted out, and see what we can do. All right, so we are back to the settlement phase. Liliana has now become a sword master, meaning that she gets +1 accuracy, +1 strength, and +1 speed when she attacks with the sword, and all survivors now have sword specialization. So that'll be handy for her. Okay, so we have set up. Our survivors have returned. We have gained 4 endeavors, 1 for each coming home. We need to update the timeline. So we're going to do a random settlement event card. We have Haunted. I don't know what Haunted is. Maybe it'll be a friendly ghost. Maybe it's Casper, right? As long as it's not a lady made out of tongues. Haunted. The survivor with the lowest hunt XP, choose in case of a tie, is convinced a powerful presence is nearby. Roll a 1d10. Lowest hunt XP. So we've got 3 people with 0 hunt XP. That's Kiora, Tezzeret, Machine Man, and Thalia. And we choose in case of a tie. Tezzeret is as basic as can be. Thalia is as basic as can be. Kiora has the leader fighting art. And a reroll left. So let's have Tezzeret Machine Man be our survivor who is confident that there is a presence nearby. Roll a 1d10. A 1. The survivor panics and zealously preaches that they are not alone in the settlement. No one can spend endeavors or innovate this settlement phase. Pardon? You may avoid this by exiling the nominated survivor into the darkness, killing them. So nobody can spend endeavors. That would mean we don't get to innovate, which was part of my plan. That would mean we don't get to turn anything into leather, which was not a huge part of my plan. I wanted rawhide armor, or maybe lion armor. You know, I think we're okay not spending endeavors. It's not ideal, but I think we're okay. And we only have 10 people. We're not in the market for sending somebody out into the darkness, and we're also missing half of our rerolls. So thanks, Tezzeret, for scaring the crap out of everybody. Well done, weird, creepy machine man. Now, we have to do the story event for this year. Last year was nice. After the King's Man killed somebody, and we all ran away, we didn't have to do a story. This year, we have a regal visit. We are now definitely beyond where I've usually gone in settlements that I've done on Tabletop Simulator, so I don't even know what regal visit is. Maybe this is horrifying. It probably is. Do you know what game we're playing? Come on. Come on. I know how the alphabet works. There we go. Regal visit. The hand strides into the settlement. The survivors' thoughts vanish as they fall to their knees, struck dumb by its glorious, incomprehensible presence. Add the hand to the Nemesis encounter list. Add Nemesis encounter the hand level 1 to the timeline 2 years from now. It's already there. The hand begins the inspection. Roll 1d10. A 6. The hand rampages through the settlement, lose any resources in settlement storage, and suffer -1 population. Challenge the hand to avoid this loss. To challenge it, we would have to immediately fight it, which doesn't sound like a good idea. I don't know anything about the hand, but it's a nemesis like the Butcher and the King's Man, so we're not going to be doing that. If the settlement has Guidepost, then we could get a weapon mastery, but that's not going to happen. So we are going to lose any resources in our storage, which thankfully is not the ones we just got. But in our storage was 1 lion claw. That's it. Not anymore. But we do have to kill somebody here. We do have to kill somebody here. And it might just be Tezzeret Machine Man after all. He has no fighting arts. He has nothing special. He has no reroll. Yeah, let's kill him. Tezzeret Machine Man, you're dead. Dead. Which gives us, man, again, if the person who makes the Scribe app hears this, when it asks grave bonus +1 or +2 endeavors, tell me why I get +1 or +2, because every single time I have to look up, do I get +1 for somebody dying in the settlement phase, or do I get +2 for somebody dying in the settlement phase? I get +1 for somebody dying in the settlement phase. Not that it matters this year, I guess, because we can't spend them, thanks to Tezzeret Machine Man's ghost encounter. So there's one dead Tezzeret. We're going to have to fight this horrifying thing in a couple of years. I know literally nothing about it. People talk a lot about the Butcher, and they talk a lot about the King's Man. People don't talk about the hand much. I don't know anything about what that fight is. But there we go. We've updated the timeline. We've updated the death count. Check for milestones. I haven't done that in a while, but I don't think we're close to anything, because the last milestone we have is a population of 15, and we're having issues getting there. We currently have a population of 9. So we can't spend endeavors. All we can do is build stuff. So I want to investigate some armor for our bow person. So an armor set is 5. So if we get rid of the cloak and this dagger and the founding stone and this, then yes, we have 5 spots to fill. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could make just straight up rawhide. The question is, do I instead want white lion armor? And so my questions are, what does white lion armor give us for having a full set? Like everything else, it gives us +1 to all hit locations. And your weapons are your claws. Gain +1 speed and +2 strength when attacking with daggers or katars. So that obviously doesn't make much sense for our bow person, because she won't be attacking with daggers or katars. She will be attacking with a bow. Or I guess he, because we'll be going back to Koth as our bow person, because he's already got bow specialization just started, or proficiency rather. That's not that exciting. It's not that exciting at all. And what does the actual armor have for us? Now, if I had built Chandra to be our speedy Qatar person, as I kind of wanted to, but now she's like axe level 4, then she would obviously love some White Lion armor. Let's see what it looks like. So the White Lion helm, they all give 2 armor. The White Lion helm has an ability, costs an action and a survival to roar, which strengthens our survivors until the end of turn. The White Lion gauntlet gives us pounce. I don't know how we pounce exactly. We pounce because the White Lion cloak allows us to pounce. You spend a movement and a speed to move 3 spaces in a straight line. Then if you did move 3 spaces, you activate a melee weapon with +1 strength. White Lion skirt is just 2 armor. White Lion boots gives you +1 movement if you complete both red squares. So I get it. This is good information to have for probably a future campaign, or maybe much later in this campaign. But somebody with a full White Lion set and a pair of Qatars, or I guess a dagger, will be like running away and then running in and doing huge attacks and then probably dashing back away. That's kind of a really cool thing, and I would really like to try that out. But I don't think we're going to try it out right now. I think what we're going to do is very simply make a rawhide set. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's going to cost us hide, white fur. And let's get this situated into our bow person. They are no longer going to need their cloth. They cannot use the lion skin cloak because you can only have 1 piece of armor at each spot. We're going to need to change things around here just a little bit to make sure the affinities are done. Because completing the affinity for Rawhide Fest, the blue on the top and the red on the side, is what gives us +1 evasion. And then we can put our pants and our boots wherever. And yeah, I don't think they need the dagger, but they can hang on to their bandages. So there we go. There's that step done. That's going to make our bow person way more survivable. We have left white fur, monster hut. Nope. That's the hide we spent. We have left love juice, lion claw, shimmering mane, lion tail, great cat bones, another lion claw, and a nightmare tick. Well, nobody's eaten that tick just yet. We're not that desperate. So we've got 2 hides, 3 bones, love juice, and the lion claws. So a question I have is, what can we do with the lion claws? With the lion claws. Actually, something I was thinking about, I kind of want to get the ability to start mining stuff, which would require a pickaxe. Would require a pickaxe. So the lion claw is basically to make lion beast Qatars. We could actually make a pair of Qatars. Boy, do I want to give up Chandra's... Chandra's already at XP 7. I think it's too late for Chandra to be our, like, crazy wild Qatar person. So what if I wanted to make a pickaxe? How do I make a pickaxe? Where do I make a pickaxe? I make a pickaxe at the bonesmith. It requires ammonia, which we have. And it requires a bone and a leather. We don't have any leather and we can't make leather, unfortunately. But a pickaxe would allow us to actually, on the hunt phase, add mineral gathering, which is something else I've never done. But it adds a story event and it helps you get iron and stuff to make better weapons. Huh. I'm also curious how you make the blacksmith. I don't see a way of making it, so I assume it must be a a story event that pops up at some point. But we have not gotten there yet. We have not yet gotten there. So. I don't think I want anything from the bonesmith other than the pickaxe, which needs some leather. The sickle, which, like mineral gathering, lets you gather herbs or something, also requires leather. I don't think I want anything out of the Caterium. Everybody's kind of suited up here. What I really want is to innovate. But I guess we will just archive these resources for the time being. So let's go storage. White lion. We've got ourselves a lion tail. We've got ourselves 2 lion claws. We've got a shimmering mane. And we've got ourselves some great cat bones. So we'll archive those, and then we will use this love juice. And we'll use that love juice with Thalia and... Ooh, I'm running out of males that I don't care about. I only have 3 males, so we need to have a male baby here. Let's have Thalia and Koth use the love juice. So that's going to take us to the intimacy roll. So let's open that up. Survival of the fittest, we're going to have to roll 2 and take the lowest. We get ourselves a 1 and a 7. Well, obviously we need to re-roll the 1. We haven't had a 1 happen. A 1 is both survivors just say, no, we're going to walk off into the darkness, and they die. So we're not going to have that 1. We are going to have Kiora use her reroll to help out. We get ourselves a crit. So the lowest roll is a 7. The settlement gains +1 population. The male and female survivors share a deep bond and gain +10 survival each. So let's give Kiora up to max survival, which is 4. That should be higher by now, right? Am I really whiffing on getting innovations for higher survival? What's a survival number that I should be hoping for? Because it can't be 4. So that was Kiora. No, I didn't say Kiora. I said Thalia. Thalia gets +10 survival up to 4. And Koth gets +10 survival up to 4. And we get a new male child. New survivor, let's name this one Kaito, after the latest planeswalker from Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. So Kaito is a male with a mother of Thalia and a father of Koth, which actually means we can give Koth's bow proficiency to Kaito, which seems smart because our bow people seem to die a lot. So Kaito is going to inherit the bow proficiency, which is 0, but at least he has it, and will start gaining proficiency right from birth. Create, and there we go. We have Kaito. So I think that's going to wrap it up for today. We ripped apart a white lion. We got a bunch of resources. We built a full suit of armor, which is great. And I think we're ready to go back out and get some more resources. We have 1 more year. It's so hard to remember how the years work because we just flipped over to Lantern Year 11. So no, we have 2 more fights before we then have to fight the Hound. So what I think we'll do is we'll head back out hunting. What am I looking for? This is kind of the mid-phase problem that I'm having. I guess we're looking for better weapons at the weapon crafter, right? I'm also looking to innovate. which we can get from the lion or the antelope. We can get the organ, the hide, and the bone that we need. We have the counterweighted axe. We have the scrap sword. I could make a scrap bone spear, which requires 4 bone and a scrap. And the antelope is a little bit more likely to give bone. But then we have to find the scrap, which we can scavenge if we have endeavors laying around. So yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll go after the antelope, trying to get some bones, working on getting a scrap bone spear to replace the king spear that we currently have. We finally get to have Gideon go out for another fight to continue working on Fist and Tooth. We also have shields, and I believe shields help you get resources from the antelope, I think. I think it's clubs and shields that give you more luck. So we're going to head on out, and we are going to send out brand new Sword Master Liliana, Gideon working on Fist and Tooth, Hoth is our bow person, Koth's a hoarder. That's annoying. But yeah, we'll send out Koth. Sword Lily, Koth bow, Gideon Fist and Tooth. So I guess Chandra is going to head on out again with the axe because that strength bonus is great. So they are all going to depart, and we're going to go hunt a white or a screaming antelope. So that's going to wrap it up for today. Definitely let me know anything you want to let me know. Things I screwed up, I'm sure I did. I know I forgot Oregon Trail at least once. But yeah, we're going to go hunt. Again, let me know kind of what you think about the mid game. I feel a little bit stuck on exactly what I'm working towards anymore. I've suited everybody up. We have everything. Are we just hunting until we get to Nemesis now? Is there some stuff that I should be working on further? I feel like I don't quite know where I'm going. I feel like we're flush on resources. So yeah, let me know if I'm like, don't obviously just tell me what I am supposed to do, but let me know if I'm missing anything major. But I feel like we're hitting a sort of like plateau of usability for the resources. But yeah, still loving the game, still having a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys are enjoying watching it. Let me know anything you want to let me know. Like, share, subscribe, all those good things, and I'll see y'all next time.